Hey everyone, I'm Kim. I'm a mom and a lifelong traveler. Welcome to the Personal Finance Diaries, where we keep it practical and honest. I've spent years helping individuals and families navigate money from debt and budgeting to smarter financial choices, especially when it comes to traveling. Today, we're going to dive into how to use on-air parking to get the best deal. And I want to be upfront. This isn't a general video about saving money on airport parking. This is specifically about on airport parking's platform, how it works, and how I've used it. If you have ever used on-air parking before and just click through without really thinking about it much, you've probably been overpaying. So let's fix that. Before we get into the strategy about saving money using on-air parking, let's first talk about what actually is on-air parking, because understanding this is going to make these tips that follow really make sense. On-air parking is a booking platform that connects travelers with off-site parking lots near major airports across the country. You're not actually parking on-site at the airport's parking lot. You're booking a spot at a vetted independent facility nearby, and a shuttle takes you to and from the terminal. Now, why does this matter? Because off-site lots are often always cheaper than actually parking at the airport, sometimes by a lot. But not all off-site lots are actually equal, and the booking process also isn't equal. On-air parking actually sits in the middle. They are an aggregate. They provide the options, they handle the reservation, and they give you the peace of mind that you wouldn't have just by showing up at some random lot. The platform works with dynamic pricing, meaning the rates shift based on demand, timing, availability, just like flights and hotels. Once you understand that, the whole strategy starts to click. You're not just picking a lot, you're actually picking the time that you want to purchase that reservation. So let's talk about when to actually book, because this is where a lot of people get it wrong. They think about parking as an afterthought. They think about it just a couple days before their flight, and that's actually when the prices are the highest because the demand is there and they know that you're really out of options. On-air parking's pricing moves with demand. Early availability gets the lowest price. As your travel date approaches and the inventory is less, prices go up, especially around holidays. It's the same logic as booking a flight. The person who bought their seat in January paid less than the person who booked maybe a week before the departure date. From my experience, the sweet spot is booking around 7 to 14 days in advance. That's where I consistently see the best rates before last minute demand really kicks in. If your trip is a month out, I'd still book it now. I've never seen rates drop. Booking early, I've always obviously seen them go up. Here's the thing that really makes this low risk. On-air parking has a free cancellation policy on most reservations, so you're not committing in the way that you think. You're just claiming a rate. If something changes, your trip gets pushed out, your plans shift, you cancel, there's no penalty. I'll come back to how to use that strategy because it's honestly one of the most useful parts of this whole platform. The takeaway here is, the moment your flights are confirmed, go book your parking. Don't wait. Book it now and let the cancellation policy be your safety net. Okay, so now let's talk about the mystery lot option. This might throw people a bit. On-air parking offers something called a mystery lot option, and it's exactly what it sounds like. You get a confirmed reservation, a guaranteed shuttle, you get full coverage, but you don't actually know where you're parking and where that specific lot is until closer to your travel date. Your first reaction might be uneasy about this choice, but it's actually cheaper. Mystery lots are priced below named facilities because you're giving up the ability to choose. In exchange, you get a lower rate. And if you're at a large airport where on-air parking works with multiple well-reviewed facilities, the odds are genuinely good that wherever you end up is going to be perfectly fine, normal, smooth. You know, the experience is good. The shuttle's still coming, your car's still covered. I think of it like this. If you've ever taken a flight and been fine with the middle seat to save $80, you understand the trade-off. You're not getting the premium option, but you're getting the same function you need at a lower cost. So let's talk about when the mystery lot option actually makes sense. When the price is priority, when you're a frequent traveler who's done enough times to trust the process, you know the airport, and when you're not on a razor-thin connection schedule with every minute of that shuttle, you know, the timing really matters. When it doesn't make sense is if you had a bad experience, obviously, at a specific facility in the on-air parking network, and you want to make sure you don't end up there again. If you're traveling with a lot of gear, an infant, maybe someone with mobility issues, or anything that really makes the shuttle experience more logistically complicated, you probably want to know exactly what you're dealing with in advance. And if you're someone that really just needs to know, that's a legitimate reason. Don't cause yourself more stress and anxiety to potentially save a little bit of money. The savings really isn't worth it, and it could just cause, like I said, more stress there. But for straightforward trips with someone familiar with the area where the goal is to really spend less, mystery lots is worth considering every time you book. All right, one of the most important parts, and I really want to make sure that this lands, this is on the free cancellation strategy, because it's one of the things that most affects how you actually save money, what you pay, and almost no one uses it intentionally. On Air Parking offers free cancellation on most reservations. This is not just a consumer protection feature, it's a pricing tool if you treat it like that. Here's the strategy. You want to book early to lock in the current rate, which, as we've talked about, is lower, as if your trip is further out. Now, set a reminder to check rates again about a week before your travel date. If rates drop, maybe there's less demand or there's a promotion going on, or maybe a new lot came on network, you can cancel your existing reservation and book a new one, and no trouble there. And you save money. If rates went up, which is probably the most common kind of scenario, you do nothing. You've already locked in a really good rate. You're going to keep that, and you're ahead of everyone who's waited. This is essentially a one-sided bet. You're protected on the downside. You already have a reservation no matter what. And the upside is if rates happen to drop in your favor, the free cancellation policy is what makes this possible. So use it. Okay, so let's go through this step by step. First, you book as soon as you've booked your flights and they're confirmed. Put a reminder in your phone for 7 days before your trip just to say check parking rates. Open On Air Parking, search your dates, see what's available, and if you find something lower, cancel your existing reservation and rebook. If not, you're set. One important note. Before you book any reservation with this strategy in mind, confirm the specific reservation shows free cancellation on the booking page. It's listed clearly. Don't assume. Most reservations qualify, but it's always good to verify before you commit. Now, a few quick practical things the day of your trip, because strategy isn't just about booking. Have your confirmation ready before you leave. On Air Parking sends a confirmation email with all your lot details, the address, the shuttle instructions, the contact number. Screenshot it or pull it up. Don't be one of those people rushing through the airport, and you also don't want to be that person searching your inbox in the parking lot. Factor in the shuttle time. Off-site parking means a shuttle ride, and most facilities are between 5 and 15 minutes from the terminal, but build that into your departure window. I usually add about 20 to 25 minutes to whatever I think I need. If the shuttle is fast, I'm just early. If there's no wait, I'm not stressed. On your return, call ahead. Most on-air parking facilities ask you to call when you land so they can time the shuttle pickup. Do this before you get to baggage claim. By the time you've got your bags, the shuttle is closer to being ready for you. Take a photo of where you parked. That sounds a bit obvious, but it's not so obvious at 5 in the morning when you're rushing, you're tired, and you just want to get to the gate. Take the photo. Okay, so let's recap and wrap it all up. The system in order. You book early, 7 to 14 days out as a minimum. Consider the mystery lot option if price is a priority and you're flexible on specifics. Use the free cancellation strategically, book now to lock in a low rate, and rebook if something better appears. And on travel day, have your confirmation ready and build shuttle time into your schedule. None of this is overly complicated. It's just about using the platform the way it's built to be used, with a little more intention than most people bring to it. Thanks for hanging out with me today on the Personal Finance Diaries. If you found this helpful, don't forget to subscribe. We're all about making smarter money moves. See you next time, and thanks for watching.